Welcome, Tiny Hands, Big Dreams, here on the homestead in southern Ecuador. The proof is in the pudding. We've done videos before about animal food, but we've been doing it for a few years, and this is not one of these, hey, we did a thing for the first time videos, and you watch it and you're like, you just did that for the first time, how do you know that's a good idea?
Yeah.
Now this is interesting, one, because they're healthy. We've gone through full cycles. We've gestated the mother on the same food. They've birthed through lactation, full life cycle, butchery, eating the same food. We're into this several years of making our own animal food, dog food, pig food, a little bit for the goats, chickens. We have seen life cycles of animals come and go. We can compare it against animals raised on different kinds of feed. We can talk intelligently maybe about this. First, look at the dog. Look at him go. Look at the little sausage, like run and jump and think. Does he look healthy? Okay. Was he that way when we got him?
Gosh, no. He could barely get up the driveway.
He couldn't get up the driveway. He stopped and you're like,
He
oh.
was so miserable. You just had no muscle mass. You just kind of, I don't know, just lethargic.
This is what happens when you're raised with not enough food or the incorrect food, as is pretty common here in the Ecuador. There is only basically the low-grade kibble available, and people in the city, some of them feed that, but out in the country, dogs just I don't even know if they feed some of them.
I think they just find food.
They do.
Which is not necessarily
They
good.
trash.
Yeah.
You'll see that in the cities a lot. You'll see dogs just like just tearing into the trash everywhere. They're scavengers. Not a great thing.
It is what it is here, but that was not the plan for our dog.
No, we don't believe in that. Now, so the first thing is I get the dog, we bring him home. It was an accidental thing. It was something. If you ever typed into Google, help, I accidentally, and then there's these like crazy things that people have searched, and you're like, what happened there? Okay, help, I accidentally traded an annoying chicken for a dog.
Came home with a dog, and I'm like, you were trying to get rid of a chicken. You went to get rid of a chicken, and you brought home a dog. Okay.
It seemed like a good trade. I was just going to get rid of the chicken. Like, I didn't want it.
So we got a dog, and I'm like, well, you have to feed the dog. Where are we going to feed the dog? What do they feed the dog?
So I went back, and I'm like, oh, because in my mind, thinking back to all the vets things, all the stuff I've read, to do a diligent, good job, this and that, well, you don't change a dog's food, this and that, and then you blend it a little bit by a little bit so you don't upset its stomach. And
maybe dogs here are different. I don't know.
What do you feed the dog? And they're like, and they honestly just sort of like mugged on me, and I'm like, what is the dog's diet? What does his food consist of? I tried this in various ways, and they're like, anything? Well, that's not it.
This just goes against what we knew to be correct.
Sure. So they're like, well, we're on our own. We'll make him something. And I think we did something as a temporary thing.
Well, you went and got some of the cheap dog food.
Yeah.
Just because the poor thing needed to eat something. And then it was basically, well, this isn't going to work. Like, I don't want to do this. One, it's just something we are buying.
Yeah.
It's a product, which doesn't really align with our intentions or our values in life. I don't really want to be doing that.
And in general, dog kibble and animal food in general is really low quality stuff.
And expensive for what is very minimal nutrition.
It's $1 a pound.
Which doesn't sound like a lot until, I mean, okay, our dog is small. But if you had a larger dog, that does add up for something that is mostly nutritionally void and potentially detrimental. I
had a dog many years ago, beautiful dog. Started having problems with her skin. She was having dandruff. Her coat wasn't shiny. Her joints was hurting. And she couldn't move around. Took her to the vet. And I'm like, there's something not right. There's going on. And the vet looked at her and she's like, what do you feed the dog? And I'm like, dog food? I don't know. Comes in a bag from the store. And they're like, And the vet didn't get into the whole thing. And she's like, try this. And she gave me, it was Innova was the brand at the time. I don't even know if it's still around. And I started feeding the dog that, and all of a sudden, her coat looked better. Her dandruff went away. Her joints all of a sudden like stopped hurting her. She's just full of life and running around. And I'm like, food can do that? That was like one of my first light bulb moments into nutrition is critically important to the health of the animal. Now, we're not going to eat the dog, but this gets into the other animals. You're going to eat, say, the pig. Do you want that to be healthy meat that you're going to eat? Do you want it to provide you nutrition? Do you want yourself to feel good eating it?
Well, we have all heard, like, you are what you eat. But you have to take that further into you are what you ate, or what you eat ate. There we go.
Yeah.
Like, you have to take that further, because you are only consuming whatever nutrients, minerals, things that animal was able to consume.
So the latest studies I've seen, like say with chickens, chicken is actually unhealthy to eat and is associated with a shorter overall life, probably because the chicken is incredibly nutrient deficient the way it's raised, fed the absolute bare minimum amount of what they can get away with to make it grow and not even be healthy. Like, it doesn't have to live long. Do you think you're going to be healthy eating that as a protein source?
Whereas the chickens that we have processed, that we have just let exist here and have eaten whatever they wanted, are completely different. They're just different. They taste different. The meat is different. Everything about them is different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, knowing that food is critically important, and it's like a tenet of our life here. With animal food, we've been doing this for a few years. We make the dog his own food. And his food is, what's it consist of? She makes it.
Well, so part of the animal food is not just what is nutritionally best for the animal, but it also has to be balanced with the fact that we don't have excessive funds to throw around. Don't want to spend a lot on even the homemade dog food, because you could, and you could get all these fancy things. And
our monthly income typically is less than somebody's Starbucks budget. Just...
Yeah. And it started out, and I have an actual recipe, and I'll link it. It is on our Substack.
Yeah.
And we did a video sort of more detailed about his dog food. But it started out with a very specific recipe, and I still think that's probably the best. But I also pare it down a lot based on what I can get at the market.
Sure.
Did he get green beans in the last one? Nope. Because there just weren't extra to...
Yeah, we got skunked on green beans.
So it is mostly meat, rice, and then I try to do like starchy vegetables like sweet potato or plantain.
Some fiber.
Yeah. Squash, something like that.
And it changes, but a varied diet is also a healthful thing. It's a good thing.
And it is inexpensive for us right now because that meat is scrap. So that's when we get a 20 to 50 pound amount of meat from the butcher. That is all of the scrap pieces. So that also means it's actually better than just meat because that has a lot of collagen in it. So I'll make his food and I'll can it, and it is gelatinous. It has proper collagen.
I can testify
bone broth.
That the bone broth and added into our diets makes my joints stop hurting. Like, just hard stop. If you have like joints that you can know that joint is there by moving your arm, you probably need bone broth in your life. Make it yourself. My gosh.
Yeah.
Within a couple weeks, like, it is a magical difference. It's more than any supplement I've ever taken that is supposed to replicate that.
And so I figure like that can't be bad for the dog to maintain his health. And he loves it. He
has a beautiful coat. He has no dandruff. He's healthy. He's strong. We let him off, and he will go and run through the mountains for an extended period of time and come back and have a big drink and be like, and then rest peacefully knowing he's chased away every creature for like miles around. He's a healthy little sausage.
He is. And he doesn't. Now, a lot of people are like, I researched into exactly how you're supposed to make dog food, and it was...
If you're not a veterinary nutritional something, you're not allowed to do this.
It honestly was the most just convoluted, weird rabbit hole of...
You can only do this, and it must have this, and it must... You
have to consult a veterinarian, and I'm like, okay, so dogs here just eat trash. So if I can step it up from trash...
And they live for many years.
So we're going to just... one up from trash here. I'm sure it'll be better. That was my theory. I'm like, whatever I can provide him is better than whatever he was or was not eating, or the dry kibble. I know I can do better than that.
Yeah.
So some people are going to say, well, you shouldn't be feeding them rice. Okay, so I'm not rich and I can't feed him purely meat. Would that maybe be slightly better?
To be fair, a percentage of his diet is wood.
Percentage of his diet is a lot of things I'd prefer him not eating.
But if he finds a little piece of wood, he's
No.
and then it's gone. We're like, did you eat the wood?
So this like super particular, specifically with dogs, this like you have to have these exact perfect. Have you ever just watched a dog be a dog? They're gonna eat lots of gross things. I think they'll be okay with a well-balanced homemade food.
Yeah.
It's my theory. And honestly, he is the proof.
He is. And he's really healthy and he does really well. And he's been doing it for years and he's just getting like healthier and stronger.
The other thing, which is, okay, it's gross, but the poo, when you feed an animal correctly and well, it's just not that bad. That's the main reason why I never wanted a dog, if I'm being honest.
We got him and his poo was gross.
Oh, so bad.
And stinky and horrible.
I was like, why did you give me a dog? I want a dog.
When we've brought pigs home that we've bought that have been raised, sometimes on just bagged food, like pig food things, and it smells so bad. And then in the process of butchering, you're gonna remove the guts, and again,
so bad.
The unbroken gut sac stinks. The inside of the pig is horrible. It just is really, really bad. Our pigs don't.
No.
They literally. They don't.
Pig area doesn't really smell.
No, and that was
the
like
pigs themselves don't.
So
the dog doesn't.
You have to use poop as a bit of a bellwether as to the health of the animal, but also when she's taken apart pigs, ones that we've bought that have eaten deficient diets, the joints she can just break with her hands.
I feel so strong.
Big strong pig, right? Crunch.
Sometimes by accident. You actually injured a pig by accident. Just simply by like
trying to load it in the van,
like broke ribs because like you're just so fragile.
It was fragile. Its joints were fragile. Its tissues were fragile. Its gut tissue, which is if you're a human and you have weak gut tissue, you have things that go through your gut that cause all sorts of inflammation and problems and things. And oh my gosh, it's terrible. So you have to think about that, and it relates to you. Pigs aren't that much different than us. If you eat a good diet and you have strong, healthy guts that have strong tissues and good mucous membranes, you will be healthier and have less inflammation. Mm-hmm. Our pigs are incredibly difficult to butcher because everything is so like her knives trying to cut through the skin, just incredibly thick, tough skin. But there's no dandruff. It's beautiful. I'll take the pressure washer to them.
That's a weird trick.
That's a weird trick, but. Pig's all muddy, right? Because
we skin, we don't scald.
Yeah,
so we want it to be as clean as possible.
Right. People that raise them on cement, I guess it looks pretty clean, but they're raised in mud, like that's mud.
They're nasty.
So I take the pressure washer and I pressure wash that pig back to new. So shiny. And our pigs, like even with our big Honda pressure washer, I get pretty dang close to the skin and it just gets clean. It doesn't damage it. Pigs that we've bought, when we do that, the skin starts to flake up and pieces of it come off, and it's just you can see the dandruff and the things and it's weak.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then you realize, and that's, I guess I see that in two ways. That's of course what we are eating, and we want to be eating the best quality.
Yeah.
But also, we do love our animals. Just because we eat them doesn't mean we don't love them and want them to have a good, happy, healthy life. We don't have as many health issues as I see some people having, containing their animals and feeding them a lot of bagged, pre-mixed, creature-appropriate food. I love the by-the-book things you do. You go to your Tractor Supply and you start reading the ingredients, and then you start actually researching that particular ingredient, and not like the manufacturer's claim of oh, it's this beautiful byproduct that we take from that, but no. You go and you find the actual way it's collected, stored, treated, things processed. Does it mold at some point? Oh, that's bad. Now, if you want to talk specifically, we also have goats. They have less feed input, but goats or any ruminant are super sensitive to molds. Just incredibly sensitive. You're not supposed to feed them anything that's moldy. Well, there's visual mold, and then there was mold in the process that then you are feeding them the mycotoxins, which is terrible. It's just bad for them. Yeah. So we have edged away from pre-bought, pelleted mixed feed. Now, when we were in Tennessee, and we've talked about this before, there's a cheat. If you go to buy pig food. Pig cheat code? Yeah, there's a pig cheat code. There's
pig food is expensive, as is most pelleted foods. It's I forget how much it was a bag.
It was a lot.
It was a lot.
Especially when you're like feeding multiple pigs.
And you're like just dumping part of the bag every day, and you're like, that's a lot of money. So we found out, because we were poor, that the local feed place had a thing called Beef Maker, which was for cows. Okay, all right. But what do cows eat? Well, cows eat mostly pasture and a little bit of grain, and there's like some minerals. So we look at the Beef Maker, and it's alfalfa and a little bit of corn, and maybe another couple of like mixed in grains, and then some minerals. And we're like, yeah, what do pastured pigs eat? Remember, if your pig is pastured, your omega-3/6 balance is right. If you're feeding it grain-fed bits, completely and totally wrong, and it is an unhealthy fat. If pastured pigs are healthier, then I should feed the pig the bagged pasture with a little bit of grain, not much, and I can get the closest I can to having a pasture-raised pig in a semi-confined area.
Yeah, we were only on an acre there. We didn't have the ability to pasture them.
It was $5.35 a bag.
So cheap compared to like, I don't know,
$25, $30 a bag.
It was so much.
So you're like,
that was great.
This was how much difference in price, and actually better. The pigs liked it.
They loved it, and you could definitely see the difference in their health when we switched to that. They smelled a lot less. I mean, we were on an acre, so like you smelled the pigs. They were close. They smelled a lot less. They looked a lot better.
Everything about them was healthy, and we fed them that through the rest of their lives.
Honestly, if there was such a thing where we are now, we would be doing that.
Probably. But
there is not that.
Here we have more space. So what do? We move the fence, and they eat whatever they like.
Greens and bugs and
mud and things, and occasionally an old cow bone they sometimes find. Anyway, they eat whatever's out there.
They're a pig.
But the natural is super important. But then, so what we figured out is, so you can't feed a pig corn, straight corn.
I mean, people do.
People do. It's not good.
The research says, which we've done a lot of research, corn is not digestible. Like just dry corn.
You're not going to get the protein out of it. It's not available.
Dry whole corn is basically pointless. It's just going to go through them. You can literally watch it just go through their bodies. It doesn't work. And if you crack corn, it is better. It is slightly more absorbable. It's still not good. It's just not good for them.
And there's pigs here that are raised that way. And they grow, but they're not healthy. And again, that's part of the ones where the whole pig is really just weak in all the tissues.
So this started... I actually don't know where the research started, but part of it was we know that we are selenium deficient here. So somewhere along the way, I ran across something that says nixtamalizing corn can actually increase the availability of the selenium in the corn.
Yeah.
And that led me down the long rabbit hole of what else nixtamalization?
Nixtamalization.
A weird word.
It's a weird word.
Can be, well, it was the research of like, why was this done in ancient times? And
humans will starve to death eating corn. Europeans found this out when they brought it home and didn't bring the instructions. The natives here in Central South America used to eat corn, but they cooked it with wood ash, which nixtamalized it via the process of the alkalis, which makes the nutrients much more available, and you can survive on it.
Specifically, the selenium and the protein.
Yeah.
Now, it also is a whole host of other nutrients, minerals, things that are suddenly bioavailable.
Yep.
It also cooks it. It also makes it tastier. Because if you think about the difference between, like, do you want to eat dry corn? Ugh.
All right, so we ran out of gas.
No, oh, yeah, that's right. When we had great road blockage and destruction.
There's a huge mountain of mud, totally took out our road. I'm trapped on the other side. She's trapped on this side.
And I'm rationing propane like crazy. And it takes a bit of propane to boil the giant pot of corn and water.
It's like...
And I was like, you know what? This is not the time to use up the propane. It'll be okay. We have a grain mill. I'll just crack the corn. It's not as good, but for a few days, it will be just fine. They'll be fed. The pigs did not agree with me. They have been eating nixtamalized corn their whole lives. they were unimpressed.
Plus the occasional kitchen scraps and things.
Oh, they get tons of scraps. They get all kinds of other stuff.
Leftover, whatever.
But the corn, they were not on board with the dry corn. And I did put water in it, and I tried to make it...
turned up their nose at it and went back to their totally desolate mud area because they'd eaten every damn thing in there. Twice.
Yeah. No, they had no interest. And then I came back the next morning.
Pigs turned down food and walked away.
And the food was still in their dishes. I'm like, oh, did you want that? They're just looking at me, nope. They've always run up when you go up to feed them and they're screaming at you and all excited. Nope. They just stare at me like, no, I don't want that. So then, once we actually nixtamalized the corn again, it took me a couple times, so they trusted me that I was giving them the good stuff.
You have won back food trust.
Yeah. Now, it is important to say we also do include a protein mix in their food.
Yeah, so there's a thing here we can get. It's protein concentrate. It includes a bunch of trace minerals things. Anyway, it increases the protein a little bit. Mm-hmm. It has some other odd stuff in it. Maracuja seed and...
It's an oddball, but it makes sense here. There are some benefits. It is all a vegetable-based protein. So I'll mix that in once a day, and just like a cup full for all of them.
Just a little bit.
Now I also feed that to the chickens. Yeah. Because I'm not going to make different food. I'll just scoop out some of that and throw it to the chickens. Now, I do something a little strange for the pigs. Some people will be slightly freaked out about this. I feed them meat. Pigs are not vegetarians.
No.
Neither are chickens.
Neither are dogs.
Neither are dogs.
Please do not feed your dog vegetarian food. Please don't feed it vegan food. They're not vegan.
He'll eat you. Yeah.
So will your cat for that reason.
Oh, yeah. So I do feed them cooked ground meat when I have it. So it's basically when I do the trimming of the butchered meat that we get. If I don't need to make dog food, then it goes to the pigs.
Yeah.
Or it gets cooked and put in the freezer for later.
And it's stuff that we wouldn't eat.
Yeah.
Like it's...
not bad for animals. I mean, pigs they have robust stomachs. They're totally fine. It is also cooked. I wouldn't want to feed them raw meat because there could be potential issues with that. But cooked meat, they like it. They will pick it out. Mm-hmm. That is why it is ground, very small. And I mix it in because otherwise they will toss out all of the corn to get to it. Which is just, it shows that they need it.
Yeah.
Like it shows that they should be having it.
Yeah.
They require protein, and they're growing really well.
And it's just a little bit of scrap. But mostly they eat the corn. Yeah. Now this is interesting, one, because they're healthy. We've gone through full cycles. We've gestated the mother on the same food. They've birthed through lactation, full life cycle, butchery, eating the same food. Mm-hmm. And you have to do kind of a full cycle to like really like understand that. Not just I fed them for a minute and they seemed okay.
Yeah. A big part of it was I wanted to make sure that mama pig would be able to be pregnant and nurse with the corn as a base of food to ensure that was really going to be enough. And it was.
Yeah. Very healthy.
Yeah.
Very healthy little piglets. Yeah. So that's all worked out. And we'll get let's do some video here of the pigs. These are chunky, happy, muscly little pigs. They run around and they bark and they play and they schnorf in the mud and and
proper pigs.
They look good. Now I've seen some pigs and they look somewhat kind of deficient and skinny, and you're like, I don't know, like you might be like not doing that quite right. And then you see some that are just fat. Just rolls of fat. Do you have any muscle under there? We've also bought pigs that didn't have any muscle.
Yep.
And it was just a big fat bag on hoof.
Because they were fed a lot and they were just sedentary.
And not good, not the right food.
No. Now, the other thing with animal feed that I would encourage is to look outside of, if you are buying bagged feed for any of your animals, for whatever reason, because we do too. It's a very, the long road to getting to self-sufficiency with animal feed. So if you look at that, don't just buy the goat food because it has a goat on it, I think that that's what you should feed your goats. So where we live, there is no goat food. Goats eat green things out in the world.
Well, it's like cows.
And
there is no cow food.
And maybe some corn.
Yeah.
That's it. Now, their milk production, honestly, here is a little bit less than it could be because of that. Like, to be, like, really milking an animal, you kind of sometimes need to give them a little bit more. So I was trying to research what, besides corn, this was before we nixtamalized the corn, and I wanted something that wasn't just dry corn. So I'm trying to figure out, okay, well, what here can we get that I could feed them safely, that doesn't have some weird byproduct garbage thing in it that might hurt them, because they're ruminants, they're more sensitive, they're a goat, they just want to die sometimes. Goats are difficult at times. Are you going to argue that? They're difficult sometimes. So we have cooey food.
You ever...
Guinea pig food.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
You ever just realize you're somewhere different when you're like, cooeys. Cooeys are like big guinea pigs. It is like a delicacy here. People raise them and eat them.
And you either feed them grass or pelleted food. So the pelleted food, we got the ingredients off of it. And I looked at it, and I pulled up the ingredient list off of some random goat feed from the US. And I looked at them, and I'm like, pretty similar. And the cooey food has less weird byproducts. It has,
because byproducts here aren't common. There's not like the giant industrial mills that make the weird byproducts of things, of the leftover from brewing of something.
There's just not that much of it here. So you just get more of the...
There's alfalfa.
There's alfalfa, corn, and that's the majority of what's in it.
Yeah.
And the rest is sort of, I again would have to look up.
There were some minerals and things and like trace elements and...
But overall, it is mostly alfalfa and corn. Like, okay, well, alfalfa is a great thing to add to their diet. It will increase lactation. It's high in protein. It's all this. Okay.
Yeah.
And then corn is mostly a filler.
And this is just like they get a little bit of it.
They get a little bit. And at this point, what I do is I mix it with the nixtamalized corn.
Yeah.
And I only mix it for different goats because some are picky. But it works really well, and it has done really well for them. Yeah. They enjoy it. It's not overly expensive. And that's kind of like the beef maker, where you look outside the box of, was that made for a pig? Nope. But if you use logic and look at the ingredients, you can realize it probably would work well. Yeah. And it's cheaper.
Yes.
Which is really what we all want, is for it to work well and be cheaper.
But it's also, to be able to do these things for yourself at home, to be reliable on yourself, to be able to use multiple different things, to have resiliency in variety. But even if there was some sort of major disruption of animal feeds, which has happened, corn, because it is not a produced item, simply dry whole corn is pretty much available everywhere in the U.S.
It is also on the cheapest end of animal feed.
It's 23 cents a pound here, for whatever that's worth. But check out the video on nixtamalizing. Yeah. It's not hard. No. It's not, you just, the kid does it half the time. You dump some in, you add some this, that, you boil it, woo, you're done. Yep. Take it out, rinse it, feed it to the animals. Yeah. Yeah, and they love it.
And yes, it's a little bit more work than your bag of feed. You have to make it. You have to pay attention when you need to make more. And it used to be a pain, and now it's just a cycle, just like everything else is in homesteading. There are things you do on repeat every day, every 2 days, every week, every month, all things. It's not that big of a deal.
It's not that big of a deal. And they sure are healthy. Yeah. So that's our takeaway. If you have a dog, if you have pigs, if you have goats, things, I hope this helped you. I hope you break that paradigm of, but I can only feed the thing with the bag with the face of the animal on it, that the vet says I have to.
You don't have to.
You don't have to.
No.
You can think outside the box, and you can still have success.
Mm-hmm. Perhaps better success.
Perhaps better. So, thank you for watching. Any questions? Happy to answer questions in the comments. Subscribe if you haven't, because if you watched to this point, honestly, you should probably subscribe. Like, it's unless you already are. And then thank you for subscribing. Well, we'll see you for the next one.